Okay, today we have Miss Tati with Mental Health Meets HipHop, and we'll just be talking a little bit about what you're doing and everything you accomplished so far.
Okay.
So we was wondering where you got your name from.
I got my name from my first name. My first name is Tatiana. It's Russian. It's actually after a martyr from Russia named Saint Tatiana.
Okay, that's very unique.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. How long have you been doing the mental hip hop?
Mental Health Meets HipHop. I started the initiative incorporated in 2017 through the first showcase in 2018 in the South Loop at Refuge Live. This is the actual second event.
Okay, and the last ones were also in Chicago.
Correct, and it started off as an initiative for an organization called Just a Mile Away Mental Health Services, which is a hub for mental health professionals. And basically what Just a Mile Away Mental Health Services is trying to do is trying to erect an outpatient mental health facility on the west side of Chicago. So it's an initiative to not only bring mental health awareness, but to also raise capital for that.
Right, that's very nice.
Yeah.
What made you start doing that?
Well, besides from being a hip-hop artist, I've been a mental health professional for the past 7 years.
Oh, okay.
I work for different non-for-profits throughout Chicago, and I also work for the county government in DuPage County in the behavioral health services field as a crisis specialist. So kind of putting the two together, music and, what I went to school for, which was psychology.
And there's no age limit on this. It's like for the youth and for adults?
It is for the youth and adults, but I'm just going to be 100% honest. We had to get insurance for UIC, so I believe the insurance covers everybody from 18 on up.
Right.
If you're under 18 and with a guardian, you can come out, but we want to keep it to the young adults and above, just for the business purposes at UIC.
And I was also talking about just the organization as a whole, not only
the
the
organization. Yes, of course.
That's why I figured.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's great. Just a lot of different things going on what we experienced, and why we feel this is very important. We focus on the mind and how that affects our daily reality. So we know how mental health plays a big part in that. How do you help draw the stigma away from like labeling people with mental health and still being able to allow them to understand that they have that and help them?
It's all about client-centered approaching. So we like to meet people where they're at. So just basically about opening that gate of communication with a person. Just seeing where they're coming from, what's their perspective on their life and what's going on. And then we like to look at it from a holistic approach, kind of what's going on around a person's life, in order to be able to communicate with a person and help them understand what they're going through. So it's very much so like conversation, communication.
Yeah,
so
that's key.
Yeah.
Definitely. And how long have you been doing music again?
Oh my gosh, I started doing music before I started, going to school for psychology. So I've been doing music for a long time.
A long time.
A long time. So I'm not gonna say my age. I'm not that
Oh
old.
no, we're not gonna ask.
I've been doing it for decades. I started doing I did my first show in grammar school in 7th grade at a pep rally. From there, at the age of about 19, I saved up my money. I built a studio in my parents' basement. And I just started going hard and going in from there. So It's been a while.
What were some of the main reasons why you started making music?
As a coping mechanism. So a little bit about psychology and music with me. I had a cousin that died from suicide.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. It happened when I was 8 years old. It's something that not only affected me personally, but it affected my entire family. And I use music as a coping mechanism. So I wrote a lot of music about it. I started writing poetry. And then, as I got older, I started doing shows, started talking about it, and just kind of wanted to always include a message in my music.
Yeah. It's definitely a positive outlet that you created for people to be able to express themselves and not be in fear or feel like having a mental illness is a problem or a bad thing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So what else do you have planned for this year?
What else do I have planned for this year? So I don't know if I want, okay.
Just like, it could just be about like music
or
just personal things. You going on any trips, or you don't have to tell all the sauce of what you're doing.
Right. Just for this year, just working on music.
Yes.
Definitely continue to work on music. I am planning to release a project this year.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a long time, a lot of people were like, "What an album made, what a mixtape and stuff like that."
Yeah, where that fire at?
Right,
Yeah.
you're right. So I tend to stick to a lot of like remixes and stuff like that. But definitely dropping a project and definitely dropping some other things too that I have in the works. So
yeah, so it's a
looking
lot of
forward.
stuff popping for this year.
Hopefully so. It's
We
2020.
definitely looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, you can see a lot.
That's great. Could we talk a little bit about where you from in Chicago, and how you grew up, and how you went around certain obstacles?
Okay, well, I know a lot of people ask that for Chicago for some reason. I know,
that's like you have to ask that question.
Right. I like to stick to, I'm just from Chicago, but I lived in the Austin area for a number of years, and I also lived in the Ashburn Park area for a number of years.
Okay.
So that's the west side, that's the south side. I worked on the east side for a number of years. So I'm really all around the border, but to sum it up, where I am originally from, where I spent a lot of my childhood at, is in Austin. That's the west side of Chicago. And also,
yeah, I'm from Austin. I went to Austin Business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So y'all already know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
we here then, west side in the house.
West side.
West side.
But yeah, we definitely doing a lot of positive stuff. Your style is very unique.
Thank you.
We just glad to be able to show that there are positive things going on in the city, because everybody only want to focus in on the negative things and what we not doing. So we glad to have people doing positive stuff.
Thank you.
So what do you feel mental health, how does mental health affect people?
In every aspect of life, because if your psyche is not right, meaning your psychological state or emotional state of being is not right, it can be a big impairment in personal functioning, meaning that if you can identify some things that may be going on with a person with mental illness, such as depression or schizophrenia or psychoaffective disorder, you will see how it affects every area, from financial to spiritual to social. So it affects everything.
That's how we also like to think about the mind. Like when somebody has a positive mind, they usually can move around and see things more clearly versus to having a negative perspective.
Yes.
So I definitely believe in that. And how, what changes have you seen, or have you felt like you've been able to see since you started? It could just be like with yourself too.
Far as the organization, or as far as the organization, I think personally, I have just seen a lot of change as far as with being honest and transparent with people. I think the way you communicate with people and kind of meet them where they're at, you'll get a better response out of people. Yes. So I think this has helped me tremendously with doing mental health and meets hip hop, especially being from the hip hop background and kind of reaching out and connecting with people through that. Because there's a lot of artists, especially here in Chicago, that go through a lot of, mental health issues, me included. I went through, ups and downs with depression and things like that. And just being able to be transparent about it, I think you get a better effect from people. So kind of on the lines of people are, how can I put it? People are basically, impacted from the scars that you reveal, right? Yes. So people want to see other people that basically have went through something and made it out. And I believe, too, you can never heal from what you don't reveal. And you'll never know your impact once you start the healing process.
It's definitely good to put things in the open and be honest with people. And I've been noticing, like, once you have, like, a regular connection with a person, then it's easier to move forward with helping them or helping yourself.
Yeah, so, of course.
That's definitely great. As far as, like, mental illness in children, how do you feel that affects them and their progress?
Tremendously, because it goes back to the statement where if your psyche is not right, nothing that's surrounded around you is going to be right. And especially children, I believe it's easier to help a child in those early stages than to fix a broken adult. So once you can identify those things, the younger the better, because you'll be able to treat and kind of sway a person's life. So with Mental Health Meets HipHop and Just a Mile Away mental health services, I like to think of us as being intercessors. So therapists and counselors and mental health professionals, they are intercessors along with hip hop artists.
Yes.
As long as people, period, you always have the magical power of intervening in someone's life to make them go right or left. So I think once you can identify it in a child and help them, the younger the better. And holistically, as far as with school and everything around them, mental health has a significant distress and impairment on a child's personal function, because if their mind is not right, then 9 times out of 10 their home life isn't and school life isn't.
And what are some tips that you can offer to anybody just on how to be positive, or if they have a mental illness, ways to reach out?
I would definitely say, I'm going to shout out this resource. It's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
Yes.
I worked with them for a while. Even with people that don't have insurance, if you need some type of therapeutic counseling or someone to talk to, reach out to them. That number is 1-800-273-8255. Again, 1-800-273-8255. Also with positive self-talk, right?
Yes.
So I like to say being impeccable with your speech, right? That means being perfect with your words. So when those negative thoughts arise in your mind, you have to immediately combat those negative thoughts by affirming positivity out your mouth and putting it in the universe. So when some negative pops in your mind, like, I don't want to do this, I'm tired today, I'm going to stay in bed all day, you have to verbally affirm and speak out into the universe, I'm tired, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to do this anyway. And remind yourself, write down your goals on paper, put them on paper, make them tangible, and hang them somewhere, and just be positive and train your brain to do that every day.
Oh, snap. She just gave y'all some keys right there. Some
Every
free
day.
keys. Yes, that's definitely a lot of positive information. We just glad to be a part of it, honestly. And we doing a lot of positive stuff as well. Just focusing on taking more responsibility for things, and also accepting our traumas and not living on them, moving forward and making that a way to make us stronger versus to hold us back from different things. And I feel like the more we put mental illness and just anxiety, depression, different disorders in the open and make it a neutral thing to where it's not a bad or a discrimination thing if you have it, then it'll be easier for people to change. And because it's a lot of people that's undercoverly going through a lot of stresses and mental illness that they don't speak up on or that they're unaware of. And two, it plays a lot with the cultural background. I think in the African American culture a lot, it's like we always been going through these things, we just never had a name for it. Or we kind of shunned off the idea of those negative connotations about it. Oh, this person, the C word, I don't like to see it. Or, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, okay. So this person this and this person that. And I think just basically having safe spaces to talk about things like that is important, so we can kind of penetrate and denounce those stigmas that surrounded about it. Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask too, because I noticed that you were big on the culture, and that's what that means to you. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Because that's a big thing that plays part, and I feel like that's something that the music has a big role in too. How we go about things and what we focus on. Yeah.
And of course, music is so impactful, and especially for a number of cultures. A lot of people identify with music than they do with anything else. So just to be, honest and just outright, real, a lot of people, they identify with singers and artists and songwriters and people of the arts more than they do with the politicians and things like that. Far as just historically being lied to or whatever, some cultures, so we identify with the leaders, the music and things like that. And then hip hop has always been a young genre, so it always identifies with the younger people. So I think we need people in positions like the Chance the Rappers and people like the Kendrick Lamars and J. Cole's, and it's a number of people here in Chicago that kind of opens up conversation through music about mental health and how to identify and kind of get over obstacles in life. So we definitely need, musicians like that to come forward, stay together, and, be unified and come on, let's put out these projects. Where y'all at? I'm calling y'all out. Where y'all at?
So, is there where can we find more information about it?
More information about it, you can go to the website. It's mentalhealthmeetshiphop.com, spelled out directly like that. Again, mentalhealthmeetshiphop.com. You can also go to Just a Mile Away, MHS.org. That's Just a Mile Away, MHS. MHS is Mental Health Services.org. We just made, I just made an Instagram page for Mental Health Meets Hip Hop, so you guys can go on that. I just did that. And please follow us. You can follow me at Miss Toddy, mz.taty, but anywhere else, Facebook, Instagram. I don't do Twitter, so those two on the websites is where you can find us.
Yeah. You've been having to persevere a lot lately, and I was wondering, like, what is one of the main reasons why you're so dedicated to what you're doing?
I'm so dedicated to it just for the personal aspect. Like I said, I have a family member that I was very close to, my first cousin. He died by suicide. Yes. And also just growing up in Austin, just kind of seeing the environment and just wanted to learn, behavioral aspects of people and why, certain things happen. So that's really why I'm dedicated to it, and then also helping people. I believe that everybody that's on this earth, the reason why we're living is to help other people. Servitude is like the greatest impact that you can have on anyone, and I think that we're all put here to serve. So I think that's my initiative in serving others and helping others, and also telling my story.
Yeah, we got some good stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie. Bro was asking, was you gonna spit like 6 bars?
6 bars? Yeah, I can.
Okay, you want to beat or acapella?
I can do acapella.
All right, we got Miss Tati in the building. Let's get it.
So since this is Mental Health Meets Hip Hop,
yes,
I just want to spit something around that, if that's cool. Tears running down my cheek every time that I think a CAT scan to capture your casket if they had to see. Memories on repeat, no rewind, no delete. Now you underneath a sheet. Tell me, how could this be? Ignoring all the signs, what was going through your mind? I remember I was young, I remember the gun. Still sitting with your mother, she still missing her son. My brother 31, he still missing y'all bond. Who thought the family tree would be missing a leaf? Always thought suicide was an out for the weak. It's really a cry out when you ashamed to speak. I know how I feel, please take it from me. No goody bully, body shame, dirt on my name. Self-esteem was targeting, they perfected the aim. It's some lessons and some blessings when you get through the pain. The sun always gonna shine, you gotta dance through the rain. You gotta love yourself and get mental health. You know somebody going through it, then reach out and help. My cousin killed himself, I still feel the defeat. And the crazy thing about it, could have happened to me.
Woo! Let's get it. Oh, snap. Yeah, Mental Health Meets Hip Hop. You already know.
Yeah, Mental Health Meets Hip Hop, UIC 125. That's on a Saturday. Doors open at 5. We have some good artists in the building. We have Corporate, which is a comedian, also a musical artist. We have Big Mouth Bo from. Yeah, shout out to Corporate. Actually, you can use Corporate with a K for a 10% discount off the tickets. So we have Big Mouth Bo for Rhythm and Flow. The one Chance the Rapper Love from Chicago. Yep. She's coming out. She's on the panel. We also have Stunt Taylor from the West Side. The West Side Stick Together. Okay. And we have a number of doctors and therapists that's going to be through. Dr. Felicia Owens, Dr. Obari Cartman. We have licensed therapist Jessica Hutnall. And we also have Alex Watt, licensed social worker. So we bringing this hub together to educate the community. So y'all come out.
Rebels for Peace will be in the building.
Most definitely. You will be kicking off the cypher, right?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. It's gonna be a acapella.
We might throw a beat, whatever you want. You tell the DJ. A lot of times we like to throw on beats to just see where a person at. I'm
saying, so it's gonna be like a circle, or just anybody that's trying to rap that's there.
Anybody that wants to rap, we're gonna give them the mic. The cypher will be at the end. So we have a number of performers too, Chicago performers. We have independent performer. We have Wendy Indy. She's a violinist. She's really dope. We have the Siblings, which is a band. They rap too. They're performing. We have, who else is on the card? We have Ken. KEN. We have Tony Famous. And then after that, it's going to be the Cypher. So whoever in the audience and want to spit, we going to do that.
Okay,
so
okay.
Come
Giving
through.
Everybody they chance.
Yeah, Rebels from Peace going to be in there spitting, y'all. Y'all heard it
got
first.
We got it. So, is there anything else that you wanted to speak on, or any shout outs you wanted to give?
Shout out. Who I want to shout out to? I want to shout out to the Most High. Always, I got to.
Shout out to the Most High.
And connect with your higher self, people. So I'm in the process of doing that, and hopefully everybody else is. Also, shout out to Just a Mile Away Mental Health Services. Everybody has been supporting that, and definitely Mental Health Meets HipHop. Shout out to Domino's Pizza, their sponsor. We actually have an initiative. Whoever donates $10 or more, and actually with the tickets are $20, right? Mm-hmm. So I just want to make this clear. Okay. The tickets are $20 to get in. That's because we have committed to making a donation to Just a Mile Away Mental Health Service to help them erect this outpatient mental health facility on the west side in the 29th ward. But if you donate through the Domino's Pizza sponsorship, it's $10. Your ticket, basically, with $20, you'll get the slice the price card with that. So with Domino's Pizza, what they do is, on behalf of us and Domino's, they giving people a free large pizza every time you buy one, up until December 2020.
Oh, okay.
So that means when you buy a ticket, we gonna give you a card for free. Every time you go to Domino's, get you a large pizza, they gonna give you one free. So this the second time we've been working with Domino's.
Shout out to Domino's.
Yeah, and it's been a really good turnout. So if you know somebody that want to have pizza parties, or you in the studio, you want to buy pizza for everybody, it's a good incentive, you know. So you guys come out. So shout out to Domino's for that, and then shout out to Department of Cultural Affairs, D. Case and Ram Emanuel. And who else would I like to shout out? And shout out to Toddy Latour LLC for helping sponsor some of the artists. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Shout out to Mental Health Meets HipHop.
Yes,
Miss Tati, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Speaking about the event.
Thank you so
much. We can't wait. Could we get the date one more time?
The date is January 25th, Saturday. Doors open up at 5. Please be in the building, people. We're going to start off with the mixer. 5 to 6 is the mixer. The first panel will kick off at 6 o'clock p.m.
6 o'clock.
Please come out and get this message. We put in time into it, and you guys come out. We doing this for the community. It's for the culture, baby. It's for the culture.
It's for the culture.
But mental health professionals infiltrate the culture. Y'all come through.
Let's go. See you soon.